Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. It's time today to talk about my October TBR, and I'm going to have a little help. I'm really excited that Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails is going to be joining me in a little bit to help me choose my TBR using her around the world type of TBR game that she has created. I love watching her play her game every month and choose her books, and I was very excited when I asked her if she would play her game for me, and she eagerly said yes. So that's going to be a lot of fun to share with you in just a moment. But I have a few books that I'm hoping to get on my TBR through the game, and so I just wanted to share them with you real quick because my Patreon book club for the month of October is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. This is going to be hopefully, well, I'm going to read this anyway because it's my Patreon book club book, and it's a book for Victober. I don't often participate wholeheartedly in Victober, but I do try to read at least one book that fits the Victober readathon that happens throughout the month of October. So this year I'm going to be joining in Victober, and as well as a bunch of my patrons, and we're going to read The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. And I'm really excited. This book is about a woman and her son. I believe she's a single mom, and she goes to Wildfell Hall. She shows up there, begins a relationship, kind of friendship with the owner of the place of Wildfell Hall. But then people in town start spreading rumors about her, and the guy kind of questions his relationship with her and who she is, and she shares her diary with him in order to kind of let him know who she really is. I've heard wonderful things about this book. It is not very long, except that the print is very small and the margins are also very small. So it's bigger than it looks, but I'll probably find it on audio. And this is my Patreon book club book for the month of October. So I'm hoping to make that fit during the game. And then also the Middle Grade March book club book for the month of October is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. This is a Newbery winner that I have read before, but I am going to read it again for October because it's our book for the Middle Grade March book club. And we will have a discussion on this on the last Wednesday of October. This is about a little boy who has to run away from an evil man at the very beginning of the book. He runs into a cemetery and then ends up being raised by ghosts in the cemetery. There are some great illustrations in this book as well. It's perfectly spoopy, like scary but not scary. Fits the October vibes really well. And if you're not someone who likes really scary books, then maybe this is one to pick up and join our Middle Grade March book club. So hopefully this I can make fit. I also have my 4 more 5-star predictions that I would love to get 1 or 2 of these on the list. A View Across the Rooftops by Suzanne Kelman, The Amulet by Anne Bennett, The Lost Melody by Joanna Davidson Politano, and then Beyond That, The Sea by Laura Spence Ash. I have already read 1, and I'd like to continue making progress on this so I don't wait too long to get all my 5-star predictions read. So hopefully 1 or more of those could get on the list. And then finally, I have a stack of my 12 books I'd like to read in 2023. I have 3 left. October, November, December. If I can get one of these on the list through the game, then I will not do the spinner wheel. But if I don't get one of these on the list, I'll be back at the end to spin the spinner. So let's go now to the Zoom and see what books I'm going to pick through Katie's TBR game. I can't wait. Hi, Katie. You want to introduce yourself and a little bit about your channel and then kind of a little about the game?
Hi, everyone. So I'm Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails. So over on my channel, I read a little bit of everything. I think that's why Krista and I are good friends because I enjoy middle grade. I like historical fiction. I read a lot of Christian fiction. And every month I play my TBR game, which I absolutely love to play. And it's a TBR around the world. So I like to have like different prompts. And then at the end, I pick a prompt that is a travel style prompt. So it'll be kind of a travel prompt at the end. I go through the entire board, and next year there's going to be different rules, but for now, if I hit a rainbow, I go back 1 row, and for that one, I have to read a book with a color wheel pick. And then for the clouds, we have different cloud prompts. So like some say, buddy read, or just a whole bunch of different prompts in there. And then a double cloud, there's a few here. You pick 1 from each pile, and you try to fit 1 book to fit both. So like illustrated cover and Instagram scroll. So you try to fit 1 for each of those.
Okay, fun.
And if you can't, then you pick 2 books. And then passports. The passports on the board are friend picks. So I can pick a book for you, or if you have somebody in the house, or call a friend really quickly.
Okay. Fun.
Yeah, that's a passport. The globe is a genre wheel, but I can pick a random genre for you, or if you want to write a couple down and then just pick a random one, you can do that too.
Okay.
And then last one which is suitcase. That one is my TBR star jar, but you can use like if you have like a TBR already picked out, I'll have you pick from one of those. So
I have a recommendations cart where I could do a random number and pick one of my books that have been recommended this year. So I have options for that, which we'll see how it goes when that time comes, if that gets picked.
I think that's everything. Yep.
Okay. So we go all the way to the end. And you said normally you get 5 to 7 books. So we're hoping for 5 to 7. My luck, it'll be all small numbers and I'll have like 12. But that's okay. We'll see how it goes. All right. Let's go for it. I've already shared books that I kind of hope to try to get on. So I have ideas in mind. I'll keep them close. But we'll see what we get.
I want to mix up those really quick. I didn't want the top one to be on the top that I already showed you guys. Okay, so here we go for a roll at number 1. And you got a 7. That's your first roll.
Okay.
So usually start off the board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a cloud prompt. So that's one of these. So your first one is a reread. So you have to reread a book.
Hey, that's perfect, actually, because the Middle Grade March Book Club book for October is The Graveyard Book. And I've already read this. So I was going to read it again anyway, and I'm not a big rereader. So I'm glad that I have to pick another reread because this is going to be perfect. So sweet. That worked really well for me already, getting one of the ones I wanted to read in October. Sweet. Roll 1 is a win.
All right. Roll number 2. Oh, that's a nice big number. You got 12.
Nice.
1, 2, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Another cloud prompt. So you got a mood read. Oh, nice. You're getting like all the easy prompts here. So you don't have to pick a book for this one if you don't want to. You can just pick whatever during the month.
Oh, that's
unless you want to.
Well, I am going to pick one because I've really been, and I know this will make you happy. I should probably save this in case you have to pick it, but I'm going to put The Lost Melody on my TBR because I've been wanting to read this for so long, and you are one of the people who absolutely loved it. And one of the reasons that I wanted to pick it up, this is a Christian fiction by Joanna Davidson Politano, and it's about a young woman in an asylum, right? And music is a big part of it. So like, I'm in all the way. I just think it's going to be fabulous. It's a 5-star prediction. I want to keep making progress on those. And I've been wanting to read it. Like it's been calling to me. So I'll put it on the pile. Hopefully, I mean, I'm pretty sure during the month of October, I'll feel like reading that.
I was actually thinking about that one after you asked me. I was like, if I get to pick a book, I'm picking that one.
Yikes. Well, hopefully I didn't just shoot myself in the foot by picking one that you would have picked.
Well, it's a good read. You can change your mind.
That's true. That's true. All right.
Okay, roll number 3. Got an 8.
Man, I'm getting high numbers.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A double cloud. Okay, so one from each pile. So the first one is a YA book.
Yikes.
And then the next prompt is one in a giveaway. Now you might not have won in a giveaway.
No, I don't think I have any giveaway books. I have a YA I'm thinking of, but can you pick another from that second?
I can pick another one from this one. Yeah, if you don't have any giveaway books, I'll pick another one from there. All right, so if 4 or more words in the title.
Oh, stink. I'm like looking on my recommendations card and I immediately thought of Dear Martin, but that does not have more than 4 words in the title. YA with more than 4 words in the title. I don't have a lot of YA to begin with.
Well, I said if you couldn't combine, you would have to pick 2 books for this one.
Oh. I mean, I could do that. Because this is little. I don't know that I don't know off the top of my head YA books that are on my shelves. I have that few. And the other one I'm thinking of is what's it called? Skyward. Because I'm trying to stay away from that light. I'm still wanting to read Skyward, but again, that's a 1-word title. That's YA. What am I? Yeah, I think I will just do, I think I'll do two books. I'll
Okay.
take the, so the Tenant of Wildfell Hall has more than 4 words and Dear Martin is YA. So they're
Okay.
both on the smaller side. Look, it's like one book if you put them
Oh,
together.
yeah.
They're both kind of shorter. So I will add Dear Martin by Nick Stone. This is about a young man who writes letters to Martin Luther King Jr. I've heard that it's so good. I'm very excited to read it. It's been on my shelves for a long time. And it should go pretty quickly because there's a lot of letters. It's not completely epistolary, but I feel like it'll go pretty quickly, but it is YA. And then The Tenant of Wildfell Hall is my Patreon book club book. This is my one and only Victober book, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. I'm going to read it anyway for Patreon. So far, I'm very pleased with this stack.
You mentioned Skyward. It's really good. I'm reading it right now. It's
Are
flash
you?
through.
I don't think
Yeah,
I've heard anything bad about Skyward. I definitely
it's
want to
really
read
good.
that. I was hoping to get to it for series September, but I just don't think that's going to happen. So, oh well.
Okay. This could be your last roll.
Okay.
Okay, you got a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you got the suitcase, which is TBR star pick, which was my prompt, but you could use your TBR cart and make a random number generator.
Okay. So I've pulled up my BookTube recommends list. So we have a total of 133, but all the ones that are blue are ones that I've read already. So if one of those numbers comes up, I'll just pick another number. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 133. Okay, she said 98. Can you see that? 98. So let's see what 98 is. So these are all books that are on the cart that my computer is resting on. Books that were recommended to me at the beginning of the year. I've read a lot of them. Ooh, 98. Poison Study. Oh my word. I'm kind of excited because this is one of the books that's been on my TBR for the longest. I need to stand up because it's on the back side. Figures. Let me get it. All right, so Poison Study. And it has a post-it on it that says, read with Cozy Reader Kelly in 2023. So I'm going to contact her to see if she wants to read this. This is a YA, start of a series. I've had it for 7 years since I started my channel and never read it. About a young woman, Yelena. She's either going to be executed or she can become a taster for the king, a food taster. I don't know much more than that, but I know that I've had it for a long time and I need to read it or get it off my shelves. And maybe Kelly will read with me. I'm going to check and see if she wants to read it in October. We'll see. And I think
it sounds really good.
Yeah. I mean, I heard so much good about it when it first was popular. That's why I grabbed it. But then I've never had the urge to reach for it for way too long. So we'll see. All right. Is that the last? Oh, no, I have just the one final.
I mean, I don't have to roll, but
it's just one.
You got a 5. Yeah. So you landed on the airplane, which is your last prompt. And most of these are travel style prompts, but some probably accidentally. Oh, there you go. A travel book. So it can be like a travel guidebook if you do have one, or it can be a book about somebody traveling, something that has to do with travel.
A travel book.
It's pretty open.
Let me see.
A lot of middle grade books have that.
Yeah. I wonder, I don't want to read nonfiction. I'm not in the mood for nonfiction, but I might add another one of my 5-star predictions because this Beyond That the Sea is about a young girl who is sent away from England during World War II to Canada Boston to America. She lives in Boston for like a few years and then is supposed to go back with her family, but she's kind of made America her home. So there's a little bit of travel back and forth there. I don't know if it's exactly travel. She retraces her trip across the Atlantic. She does travel.
I count it.
They go to Maine in the summers. They travel from Boston to Maine. That's travel.
She does a lot of traveling in that book.
All right, I'm counting this. And that will get me another 5-star prediction as well. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the first prompt was a reread. and I'm doing the Graveyard Book. Then we had a mood read, and I'm choosing The Lost Melody because I've been wanting to read this a lot lately. Then we had YA / more than 4 words, and I took the double book for that one. So I have The Tenant of Wildfell Hall with more than 4 words, Dear Martin for the YA. Then we had the random number off my TBR, and that's Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder. And then what was the last one? Travel. Beyond That, the Sea. Even Sea, like Beyond the Sea, that's like a travel kind of vibe by Laura Spence Ash. So that's pretty fun. That's going to be a good reading month, I think. So
I know, I can't wait for you to read The Lost Melody.
I know, I've been wanting to read it so much lately. So much. So that's going to wrap up this part. Katie, thank you so much for joining me and playing your game. Everyone, please go check out, I'm going to get it wrong, Paperbacks and Ponytails, right?
Yeah.
Katie's channel. If you like Christian fiction and historical fiction and middle grade, especially, a little bit of mystery in there, a little bit of, like, you read a little bit of everything, but please go check out Katie's channel and be sure to watch her TBR game every month because it's so much fun. And she has this available to you, right? If people want
Yes, I do. I have the printable, yep.
So there is a printable. If you want to print out her game board and play it for yourself, just for funsies, that's an option for you. And I think that'll be, information about that will be on her channel. You got to go over there and find it. So yay. Thank you so much, Katie. You're the best.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me. It was a lot of fun.
All right. As you can see, I have a fantastic list of books to read already in October. And I got a handful of those ones that I really wanted to read onto that list. But what did not get on the list is one of my 12 books to read in 2023. So right now I'm going to go ahead and spin the spinner and we're going to see which of these books I'm adding to that stack for October. All right. So here we go. There's a lot of spaces, but it's just because I repeat the books multiple times. The chunkiest one. Okay. So this book, 1000 White Women by Jim Fergus, has been on the list before. I think there was a month where I spun it 2 times and I read the other one, but not this one. At the top of the summary, it says, based on the actual historical event, but told through fictional diaries. This is the story of a remarkable woman, May Dodd, who travels west in 1875 and marries the chief of the Cheyenne Nation. So I don't really know very much about this. I know it has been on my TBR for a very long time, and I'm actually glad to get to it. I'm hoping that I can find this on audio. We'll see. But I'm a little intimidated because when it was on the list before, it was early in the year, February maybe, and I just was not in the mood for it at all. I started it and I just couldn't get into it. So hopefully it will work for me now in October. I guess we'll see. And then the final spinner that I need to do is for my Read Like a Booktube Friend project. I am still a little bit behind. I had Chantel in July and I got really far behind and I finished her book near the end of August. And then I chose Lindsay for August and I have now completed Lindsay's books and we still have a week and some left in September. So I can start Mitzi's books, which is who I picked in September. So I'm a little behind, but I am catching up. I do want to pick another name to read like for the month of October. And honestly, I may fudge this a little bit. We're going to see what the spinner says, but I have 3 people left on the list. Gloria from Gloria Z. Thompson, Audrey from Chapter and Converse, and Amy from Amy's Bookish Life. And honestly, for October, looking at this list of books I already have, I do not have any thrillers on here. It would make the most sense for me to choose Audrey from Chapter and Converse for October in order to get a little bit more of that spooky kind of thrillery vibe for October. If ever there was a time to read like Audrey, October is that time. So we're going to see what the spinner wheel says. But honestly, I'm probably just going to pick Audrey. Maybe the spinner will tell me Audrey. I don't know. We'll see. Here we go. Yikes. Yay! The spinner wheel agrees. I should read like Audrey from Chapter and Converse for the month of October. This is probably the friend on this list that I started at the beginning of the year who reads the most different from me. There have been a couple others that were a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but Audrey is completely out of my wheelhouse. We have some overlap in our reading, surprisingly enough, we have a little bit of overlap. But Audrey's catchphrase is she loves to read books about messed up people doing messed up things. And that is not my vibe at all. So we're going to see what I can come up with for Audrey. I'm going to chat with her and see what's already on my shelves. I do have some thrillers and mysteries on here. I know she likes Agatha Christie as well, but I just read Agatha Christie for Chantel, and I don't know that I want to do that again. For Audrey, I want to branch out a little bit more. We're going to see if we can find some that don't have some of the things that I really don't like, but still are books that she loves. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the challenge and I am going to do it. So that is it for my TBR. I have a fabulous stack of 7 books here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I chose from the game Playing with Katie. One of my 12 books to read in 2023. I will choose 3 books to read like Audrey, and I will have a Patreon recommended book. So some of my patrons get to recommend books. I haven't had that meeting yet. That happens tomorrow from when I'm filming this. So I will have one more to add to the stack based on my patron recommendations, but I absolutely can get through all of these and 3 more. That's 10 books. I often read more than 10 books a month. Plus I'll have some of Mitzi's to still finish up because I'm not done with those yet. But overall, I am thrilled with what I have to read in October. I think it's a good mix of genres, a good mix of moods. We'll see what happens as the month goes on. But I'm pretty pleased about that. I would love to chat with you in the comments below. What did you think about any of these things that you saw happening today? Spinner Wheels and Katie's game. Please do go check out Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails. I will have her channel linked down below, obviously. Please go follow her and send her some love and watch her TBR game, what's coming out soon as well. Let's chat about these books or what you're hoping to read in October or anything else that you want to chat about. I love talking with you in the comments down below. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I look forward to chatting with you in another video very soon. Bye.